Well, there you go. You saw the active weather and force of nature. Thanks for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic, joined by Tom Reynolds.
And nice to have you here, and it's nice to have you here, and it is a new month.
I know.
December has begun. And what a change from yesterday. Oh. And November was just lovely going out.
Yeah,
it was
I don't
beautiful.
blame Emily staying home today. Hopefully
She's in
cuddle
shock.
up and warm,
Yeah, she's in shock.
Emily and I are the same. We love the warmer temperatures, and it was a treat. What did you do to enjoy it?
I was climbing ladders, putting wreaths up and lights at the house, and it was quite lovely out there. And we didn't get a whole lot of rain. There were some showers last night, but it was very nice.
I was doing the directing. I stayed on the ground floor from the ladder and said, put that here, and put that there.
My wife can't stand to be out there watching.
Yeah.
Once in a while she looks out the window and I still have this look of fear on her face.
Well, your track record
there.
Not so much. Well, the temperature-wise, yes, we've taken a bit of a dip. It's December 1st, if you can believe it. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. It's the first official day of meteorological winter. Now, try saying that this time of the morning.
I failed that. You tried to make me say it 3 times fast this morning. Wasn't happening.
No, but this is the first official, as from a meteorological standpoint, winter has begun. No kidding.
Yeah, we can feel it for sure. Yes, we had that warm up yesterday. It was delightful. Today, a much different story when it comes to temperatures. Looking at our current temperatures right now.
Bottom end of Georgia Bay this morning into Aurora this afternoon. Just a little tiny bit. Could make it a bit greasy.
Yes, absolutely. It's that time of year where you really have to always expect the unexpected on the roadway.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not really that into the winter driving, so I'll take a relatively dry day today.
I love winter driving. There's nothing better than being sliding sideways and feeling the back. Oh, it's great.
Not for me, not so much for me, but it is the season, of course, of all the festive activities to get out and explore in the big red and white suit. Have you made your Christmas lists already? Have you done some Black Friday shopping? Well, I'm sure one thing's for sure, Tom, maybe the roads aren't looking so bad quite yet, but the mall parking lots, they'll probably start to get messy. Thanks so much, Tom. And as I was mentioning, I'm not a big fan of the accumulating snow on the roadways, and it looks like we're in the clear through the day today, as Tom was mentioning. If you're traveling along the 400 heading in toward Barrie, we may see some scattered flurries, and that could make roads a little bit on the slick side. But taking a look ahead, what you're seeing here Tuesday evening, snow to the north, moisture to the south. But overall, just in through the Niagara region, we could be seeing a couple of flurries and mixing through your Tuesday evening. But Wednesday, a little bit of drizzle and then high pressure for us. Going to stay nice and dry, but temperatures, well, we're not going to see a repeat performance of those double digits as we head in through Friday, back up to 2 degrees, but we do have some negative temperatures over the couple days. Thanks so much, Tom. And overall, smooth sailing today. If you are traveling along the 400 up toward Barrie, we do have the potential of seeing a couple of flurries out there. Could make things a little bit greasy for you. But otherwise, a quiet, dry day. We will have winds picking up through the afternoon around 50 kilometers per hour. Taking a look ahead at your week, well, Tuesday evening is where we could see some mixing through the Niagara region. For the GTA, though, just a little bit of morning drizzle to start your Wednesday. And then temperatures. I wish I had some double digits in here for you, but we're back to around seasonal degrees. Wednesday, 4 degrees, overcast skies, drops down to -2 by Thursday. Mix of sun and cloud across the board, though, for you. Into Hamilton, you can see Wednesday, that's where we are looking at that potential mixing, and then it dries out for the rest of the week with those cooler temperatures. They've returned. It's December the 1st, just after 6 o'clock. Oh, see, you're excited. I'm freaked out.
You know what? It's inevitable. It always comes.
Yes, and the sooner that we get there, the sooner we get through the holidays, which I'm excited for those, but then I start to count down to summer.
Well, I know. It's a little ways off to be excited about summer just yet. But, I mean, this is the official start of the meteorological, if I could say that, winter. So it has begun. And tell those folks out west.
Oh, my goodness.
-30s. It's just awful. I was just looking at a cam out there. It's just terrible. It's so cold.
I have 2 friends that moved out that way, and I know they're counting down to being home for the holidays because I'm just hoping that they're not so frozen. I hope they're actually able to come here because it's actually dangerously cold. There's extreme warnings out there. Here, I guess that's a silver lining. Yes, we had the double digits, but
this morning, coming off the bottom end of Georgian Bay.
Yes, and we're actually coming up in the show going to be joining Michelle Mackey. She'll be heading to Hamilton after the Ticats loss.
Man, that was a great, it was a really good Grey Cup. Very close. Initially, I thought Calgary was going to knock them dead. Then all of a sudden, Hamilton came back and right into the dying seconds of the game.
See, and that's what makes it exciting. I myself, I did miss it. I was snoozing.
Well, I watched it right to the bitter end, almost. Just the last few minutes.
Almost there, you know. Well, of course, it's the season of the holidays, and we are seeing lots of great activities out there. I mean, look at this. Well, for that, we send it over to Tom Reynolds. Thanks so much for that, Tom. And if you missed the boat on getting the holiday lights up on this warmer weekend, the good news is you have dry conditions. Just if you're traveling on the 400, be cautious because we could see some flurries this morning heading up toward Barrie. Could make roads a little bit greasy. But overall, with a look ahead, you can see here a system to the south with moisture to the north. That's snow. Tuesday evening, the Niagara region could be dealing with some mixing. Overall, the Wednesday, though, in the GTA, you're just going to be dealing with a little bit of light drizzle. So sun and cloud for the most part, but those cooler temperatures, and same goes for the city of Hamilton. A bit of mixing possible as we head into your Wednesday. Thanks so much, Tom. Well, the good news is roads nice and dry. If you are traveling along the 400 in toward Barrie, just be cautious. We could see some morning flurries making things slick, but overall nice and dry conditions. Taking a look ahead at your week, perhaps if you didn't take advantage of those warmer temperatures and need to get the holiday lights up, you can see we have moisture to the south Tuesday evening, snow to the north. Now that moisture could bring some mixing to the Niagara region Tuesday evening, but then overall your day on Wednesday, we're just looking at a bit of drizzle. You can see things are pretty calm for southern Ontario over through this week. We do have overcast skies on Wednesday, 4 degrees, -2 Thursday. So we are into those cooler temperatures, and the same story for Hamilton. Could see some mixing on Wednesday. You dry out for the rest of the week, but you'll have those cool conditions. Interesting story there, Mike. And of course, you can see more stories at theweathernetwork.com. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic today. What a weekend. If you liked the warmer temperatures, then I'm certain that you enjoyed. And of course, it's the season of lots of festive events from the weekend. Temperatures have cooled right down, but it is going to be dry. Could see a couple of flurries on the 400 if you're heading toward Barrie, and we will have some gustier winds out of the northwest this afternoon, around 50 kilometers per hour. Looking ahead, though, we are just seeing a little bit of moisture move in Tuesday evening through the Niagara region. We could be dealing with some mixing and then drizzle on Wednesday, but temperature-wise, we are in that cooler pattern. Oh, the joys of the Monday morning commute. At least things are dry, though. If you are heading along the 400 later this morning, though, Barrie, up towards Barrie, you could be dealing with some flurries, making for slick conditions. Looking ahead at the week overall, yes, cooler, but things relatively dry. To the south, we do have some moisture moving in Tuesday evening. That could bring a little bit of mixing to the Niagara region, and then some drizzle through your day on Wednesday. And temperatures, no double digits in this forecast. You can see much cooler, mix of sun and cloud for Toronto this week. Some mixing for Hamilton.
This weather segment. Tom.
Thanks for that, Michelle. I missed it. You watched.
That close. I mean, really, they were on comeback trail in that second half. They were so close to winning, but hey, give Calgary credit. Their defensive line was pretty darn good.
Well, and I feel like it makes it more exciting when you have that close game. I mean, really, the fact that they made it into the finals, that's it right there.
I initially, in the first half, I thought this might be a romp, but no, it wasn't at all.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to catch it. Of course, many of you were out enjoying the warmer temperatures this weekend in Markham, Ontario. Festive season, shopping malls are going to be getting a lot busier, Tom, but how are things for the morning commute?
The next few days.
Messy start to that Monday commute. We'll check back with Tom shortly. Looking at the day today, we will have a gusty northwest wind, 50 kilometers per hour through the afternoon. And if you're heading along the 400 in toward Barrie, that's where we could see some morning flurries. Could make some slick conditions out there. Looking ahead at your week, overall relatively dry. We do have some moisture that moves in Tuesday evening, bringing mixing to the Niagara region, and then the GTA dealing with drizzle throughout Wednesday. But overall, seeing a lot of sun and cloud for the city of Toronto, but much cooler temps than compared to the weekend. Thanks, Tom. Pearson yesterday got to 14.4 degrees. Much different story this morning. Cooler temperatures by this afternoon. We'll have a gusty northwest wind, 50 kilometers per hour. And if you're traveling up toward Barrie along the 400 later this morning, you may be dealing with some flurries, which could mean some slick conditions. Tuesday evening, we have this moisture to the south that could bring mixing to the Niagara region. Looking ahead at your Wednesday, a bit of drizzle. And then overall in your 7 days, we have relatively calm conditions but cool. 4 degrees Wednesday, slide down to -2 by Thursday. Lots of sun and cloud for the city of Toronto. Hamilton, you may tap into that mixing for your Wednesday, and then a dry rest of the week. But again, those cooler temperatures are going to be sticking around for some time. Good morning. Much cooler conditions in southern Ontario today. Many areas starting the day below freezing. City of Toronto -1, Kitchener -3, in St. Catharines 2 degrees. Heading further north in Sault Ste. Marie, you're in -10. North Bay -8. So cool conditions. If you're traveling in toward the city of Barrie, you may catch a couple of scattered flurries today. So do be careful if traveling along the Highway 400.
And Tom.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I actually missed the game because I had the early morning shift for Emily, so I went to bed. I know it was a close game, though.
It was a close game.
You caught it.
2016, and the Ticats were coming back big in the second half. Just about got it, but Calgary just a little too strong on the defensive line.
Well, there you go. I know lots of activities this weekend. Many of you enjoyed Black Friday shopping. Many of us enjoyed those double-digit temperatures.
Cyber Monday today.
Yes, that's how
So
I
you
do
don't
all
even
my
do it at
shopping.
home.
Exactly. You avoid the mall parking lots, and it means you don't need to venture into the cold outdoors. As for temperatures, though, starting things off this morning, but getting down to -8. So things, yes, feeling a lot like that meteorological winter that has just started today. How are things feeling on the roads, though, Tom?
Right there, Krissy.
Thanks, Tom, and some good news. Dry conditions for any of your travels. We will have a gusty northwest wind as we make our way through the afternoon, around 50 kilometers per hour. And if you're heading on the 400 through Barrie, just be cautious. We may see some late morning flurries. Looking ahead, though, things stay relatively dry. We do have this moisture moving in Tuesday evening, could bring mixing to the Niagara region, and then a drizzly day Wednesday in the GTA. But overall, sun and cloud for the rest of the week, but cooler temperatures are your story.
Yes, now.
Thanks, Tom. A complicated Monday commute. Luckily, weather not complicating things as we have dry conditions through southern Ontario. If you are heading up toward Barrie along the 400, you may experience some scattered flurries and expect some gustier winds this afternoon, around 50 kilometers per hour out of the northwest. Looking ahead, though, we have a bit of moisture moving into the Niagara region Tuesday evening. Could bring some mixing for the GTA. It will be drizzle and unfortunately say goodbye to the double digits. We have below seasonal temps this week. Well, Tom, the good news is we are looking at some dry conditions for the most part today. We will have winds out of the northwest, gusting at about 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon. And if you are planning to head along the 400 into Barrie, we do have the risk of seeing some scattered flurries today, which could bode for some slick conditions on the roads. Looking ahead, though, Tuesday evening, this moisture moves in. That could bring some mixing to the Niagara region in through the GTA on Wednesday. A drizzly day and below seasonal temperatures. You can see just seasonal 4 degrees on Wednesday, and then you're into the -2 by your Thursday with sun and
More.
Thanks so much for that, Michelle. And seeing how chilly she's been this morning, that is exactly why I'm doing my Cyber Monday shopping. It comes to me.
Are you?
Yes.
Just do it inside.
See?
Sure. I don't do any of that.
No, you didn't Black
Cyber-
Friday?
No. No, you know what? I said to my wife, they'd have to pay me to go and shop, and they would have to. I wouldn't charge. Don't charge me for anything I get.
There you go.
In order for me to go,
that would be a perfect world. I don't think it quite works that way,
that's why
though.
I'm not doing it. I couldn't do it.
No, especially some people were waiting outside for 7 hours for
24 hours. The guy downtown.
Oh, goodness.
Crazy.
And it's all elbows out situation. But a much different story, though, sometimes on the complicated side. And for more on our traffic.
Details on your long range.
Thanks for that, Tom. Dry conditions today. Winds out of the northwest gusting at around 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon. And watch out if you're traveling along the 400 in toward Barrie. You may encounter some scattered flurries.
Days.
Thanks for the update there, Tom. Well, we are saying farewell to the 14.4 degree high we saw at Pearson yesterday. A dry day, but much cooler. We'll have winds out of the northwest gusting at around 50 kilometers per hour. And into Barrie is where we're watching. You could see some scattered flurries along the 400. That equals some messy conditions. We have this moisture moving in from the south on Tuesday evening. That will bring mixing to the Niagara region, and then a drizzly day for the GTA through your Wednesday. But overall, you can see that high pressure making its way in. That's going to mean a relatively calm week. Mix of sun and cloud, but below seasonal temperatures right now. We should be at 4 degrees. Thanks for that, Michelle. Boy, doesn't that make the 14.8 degrees we saw in Pearson yesterday a distant memory?
It was just, I mean, it really was quite lovely. And without rain, a lot of people out doing Christmas lights and things like that. That's what I was doing yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, no, as I mentioned before, I was more just directing the holiday. Yeah, but you had to get outdoors and enjoy it because this is what we're facing today. Look at these temperatures this afternoon. 13. So it's essential if you do have those outdoor plans that you make sure you have all the layers on. Particularly, it's that season, Tom, where people can get stuck on the side of the road. It's important to have the parka close at hand.
For the next few days.
Thanks, Tom. The joys of the Monday commute there. Looking ahead, though, you can see through this afternoon calm conditions. We aren't really seeing anything in the way of snow or rain, just gusty northwesterly winds gusting at around 50 kilometers per hour. And if you are heading along the 400 up toward Barrie, that is where we do have the potential of some scattered flurries. Looking ahead, we have this moisture to the south moves in Tuesday evening. That will bring some mixing to the Niagara region, a drizzly day for Toronto, and then calm conditions for the rest of the week, although below seasonal. Same goes for Hamilton. It's going to be a cool week ahead. Thanks for that, Tom, and we will check back to find out if that's improved. Now, Michelle was mentioning the wind chills, and that's going to be a factor into the afternoon as well. Winds will be gusting from the northwest around 50 kilometers per hour. Potential of seeing some flurries up through Barrie along the 400 could make some slick driving conditions. Looking ahead at our week, though, relatively calm. We do have this moisture in the south moving in Tuesday evening to the Niagara region, bringing mixing, and then a drizzly overcast day for a Wednesday before high pressure comes back in place. Temperatures, though, below seasonal. You're just at seasonal Wednesday at 4 degrees and then back to -2 by Thursday. Well, it is December 1st, if you can believe it. I know you're excited. I actually have been working on my Christmas list throughout the show today, so now I'm excited.
What do you want?
Oh, not for me, for others. It's a season of giving.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Although
I'll get you the same as I got you last year.
Nothing. Well, there you go. You have no excuse, Tom. It's Cyber Monday. We just had Black Friday, so I'm expecting something good.
Well, all right. I'll go online. Is that what you have to do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I'll check that out.
Well, one thing's for sure, Michelle Mackey may appreciate a gift of warmed clothing because she has been quite chilly this morning out in Hamilton. See, now we've expanded his list. He has to buy for me, he has to buy for Michelle, but no reason to not get out and do it. We have dry conditions, so roads won't be too messy. As we head through the afternoon, though, is to avoid giving them extra time outdoors because it's going to be feeling like -13 with the wind chill. Not too nice. How are things out on the roads, though, Tom? Ooh, it was not looking so good out there, Tom. It is going to be a dry day, though, but we will have winds picking up, gusting to 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon out of the northwest. So it's going to feel chilly. In addition to that, through Barrie, we could be looking at some scattered flurries, making a bit of a mess out on the roads. Looking ahead, though, on Tuesday evening, we do have the potential of seeing a little bit of mixing through the Niagara region. And as we head through the GTA on Wednesday, some drizzle, but overall temperatures around the seasonal mark as we should be at 4 degrees. Thanks, Tom. Well, luckily, dry conditions today for the drive in southern Ontario. We aren't looking at too much in the way of moisture. Just if you're traveling along the 400 in toward Barrie, we could see some scattered flurries today, which could make for some slick conditions. Looking ahead at your week, well, it's going to be a fairly calm, cool week. We do have moisture that moves in Tuesday evening to the south. We have snow to the north. That means the Niagara region could get into some mixing Tuesday evening. And then Wednesday during the day, the greater Toronto area, you'll be looking at a drizzly gray day. You will be seasonal, though, on Wednesday at 4. Notice no more double digits in this 7-day forecast. Will actually be below seasonal for the rest of the week. Hamilton, same story. Could see that mixing on Wednesday. 4 degrees and then temps below seasonal for the rest of the week, but it will be dry, a mixture of sun and cloud. Thanks for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic, hoping that you enjoyed your weekend. Can you believe it? It's December 1st already today, but looking back at the weekend, it was fantastic. 14.8 degrees, and it was the 42nd annual parade, so hopefully you've been getting out enjoying some of those festive activities. Of course, Michelle, for some, they may not be in the festive mood in Hamilton today after the Ticats game yesterday. Thanks so much for that, Michelle. And yes, not so much a short and t-shirt day today. In fact, if you really don't like the cold, long johns could even be part of the equation. This afternoon, -1. Yet wind chill out there. All the layers required. Good news is this afternoon, relatively quiet. We do have some winds coming out of the northwest, gusting at about 50 kilometers per hour. And then we have the potential of seeing some flurries develop through Barrie. That could make things a little bit greasy on the roads, particularly if you have plans to travel along the 400. Looking ahead, we have this moisture to the south Tuesday evening and then snow to the north. Now that moisture to the south will bring some mixing through the Niagara region, and then your day on Wednesday throughout the greater Toronto area, you're pretty much dealing with drizzle and overcast skies. You are going to be seasonal though at 4 degrees, and then look at the rest of your week. Yes, we have sun and cloud, but we're back to those below seasonal temperatures. Looking ahead for Hamilton, you may tap into some of that mixing at 4 degrees on Wednesday. And then a below seasonal week ahead. At least, though, we're not looking at temperatures like the west where they have wind chills feeling like the minus 30, but it will be minus 2 by the time we reach late week on Thursday, and then bumping back above the freezing mark in Oshawa as you head into next weekend. Thanks so much for that, Kasia. There you go. Lots of great ideas to keep you warm this season. Particularly, this is the season of lots of great events. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic, and I know many of you went out on Saturday and enjoyed the Cavalcade of Lights. Can you believe it? It was already the 48th annual in the overnight hours, and then through the morning tomorrow, only minus 7. We should be 4 degrees. That's the climate normal. So below seasonal this week. Dry conditions today. We will have winds out of the northwest, and that's going to be gusting at around 50 kilometers per hour. We could see some scattered flurries in and around the Barrie area. And then looking ahead, really not too bad. You won't be driving in any major snowstorms this week, which is good news. A bit of moisture moves into the Niagara region for your Tuesday evening, could bring some mixing. And then on Wednesday, we are looking at a drizzly gray day for the greater Toronto area. As you can see, those below seasonal temperatures stick around through this week. Wednesday is seasonal day, 4 degrees, but again, overcast, could have those drizzly conditions in Toronto. 4 degrees in Hamilton, into some mixing, and then back down to minus 1 for your Thursday. And as we take a look at Oshawa as well, 4 degrees for that Wednesday. So really the messiest day of the week. We could see some flurries though on Friday with a high of 2 degrees, and then cool for the rest of the weekend. Krissy and Doug with you with the Long Ranger. And Doug, yes, we saw double digits on Sunday, but overall, November was really cold. Is this a sign of things to come?
Well, interesting. When you look back through history, November really is not a great predictor of the winter to come. Some years, a cold November led to a very mild winter. In other years, it was indeed a sign of things to come. As we look back at what we saw this past November, really across the country, below seasonal temperatures, blues and greens all represent temperatures.
I mean, we can't feel too bad because I know our friends to the west experiencing those negative 30 wind chills, but for us it has been really cool, and our winter outlook showing things to stay below normal.
Right, models showing above seasonal temperatures. Now we really think this is overly optimistic. We think we switch into the winter pattern well before the end of the month. And also the very same models that are calling for warm December had a warm November. So they were very wrong on that.
Yes, I would say my parka really begs to differ with that. Now, as we head into next week, it looks like we have a bit of flip-flop here.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty in the models. We have one model showing warm weather across the country, including the GTA, but various models have been hinting at what happens next week. But before that, this weekend temperatures look fairly close to seasonal. We'll keep an eye on a storm system tracking to our south and east, but at this point it looks like it doesn't have a major impact on our weather.
Well, that's good news. And I mean, overall, looking ahead at the 7-day forecast, we're not straying too far from seasonal. Of course, your local forecast is on the 10s. Thanks, Chris. Super fascinating there. And of course, you can visit theweathernetwork.com for more science behind the weather stories. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic, hoping that you enjoyed your weekend. I'm sure many of you did if you visited the Cavalcade of Lights in digits on Sunday, where Windsor took the hot spot at 15.8 degrees. And now we have wind chills feeling like the negative double digits. Silver lining, though, dry conditions. We will have wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour through this afternoon coming out of the northwest. So that is going to feel quite chilly. And then we do have the risk of seeing some scattered flurries heading up toward Barrie. That can make things slick if you are traveling along the 400. So just be cautious. Looking ahead, Tuesday evening, we have this moisture to the south. That will bring mixing to the Niagara region Tuesday evening into your day on Wednesday. A drizzly day throughout the greater Toronto area, but we're not looking at a accumulating snow or anything like that. You're actually at seasonal on Wednesday at 4 degrees and then below seasonal for the rest of the week. Sun and cloud though, so at least you're not dealing with any messy events on the road. Same goes for Hamilton. You might tap into that mixing. 4 degrees though on your Wednesday and then below seasonal for the rest of your week. Looking ahead for Oshawa, a rainy day Wednesday, and then you may see a couple of flurries heading into late week. Thanks for that, Mike. A fascinating story there. And of course, you can visit theweathernetwork.com for more stories and videos. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic today. And how did you like that weekend? We had temperatures getting up to 14.8 degrees at Pearson. But as Michelle's finding out this morning, not so much today. You and me both, Michelle. Be sure to get yourself nice and warm. And she's chilly out there with good reason. By this afternoon, we're only reaching -1, particularly if you're sending the little ones out to the school bus, because it is going to be quite chilly. The good news is, if you don't like winter driving, we'll have overall dry conditions, winds out of the northwest, gusting at around 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon. And we can't rule out some flurries heading up toward Barrie. Could make things a little bit greasy on the roads up there today. Looking ahead, Tuesday evening is when we see this moisture come up from the south. That's going to bring mixing to the Niagara region. Another drizzly day on Wednesday for the GTA before high pressure settles in. So the week ahead, well, you can see seasonal at 4 degrees Wednesday and overcast, and then a below seasonal week. But luckily that mix of sun and cloud to warm you up a little bit. Hamilton, you could tap into that mixing at 4 on Wednesday and then again dry the rest of the week. Luckily, as we head late week, we do see those temperatures above the freezing mark. It's all about the small victories. Thanks, Chris. Well, snow wasn't so much the story this weekend. Then were the double-digit temperatures. Pearson, you got to 14.4 degrees on Sunday. Thanks for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann in for Emily Vukovic. And hopefully you took advantage of the warmer temps through the weekend. On Saturday, of course, Markham celebrated 7. So we are into these below seasonal temperatures. Some good news, though, dry conditions through the day today for the most part. If you're traveling on the 400 up toward Barrie, you may encounter some scattered flurries, which could make for some slick conditions. Heading into the look ahead, well, Tuesday evening, we do have this moisture to the south. That will bring some mixing to the Niagara region. For the GTA, though, mainly just a drizzly day. The rest of the week, things pretty calm, but we are going to have below seasonal temperatures right into next weekend with a mix of sun and cloud.